May 29th, 1453, 2 in the morning. Constantinople is a city of long shadows and whispered prayers, waiting for the sky to fall. In your history books, this is the night the Queen of Cities died. You can almost hear it, the deafening, rhythmic roar of the Sultan's cannons shattering walls that had protected civilization for over 1,000 years. You've been told that the last Roman emperor, Constantine XI, threw off his purple boots and charged into the smoke, vanishing forever into the ruins. You were taught that this catastrophe was a necessary tragedy, the spark that forced a stagnant Europe to wake up, to look west, and to, accidentally, discover the Americas while fleeing from the east. But in this reality, the walls did not break. The miracle was not a prayer, it was a weapon. Imagine the moment the Sultan's elite janissaries rush the breach, expecting a broken city. Instead, they are met by a nightmare they thought was a myth. A sudden, blinding eruption of emerald flame, Greek fire, stabilized by lost alchemical secrets that the West would never understand, turns the Bosphorus into a lake of unquenchable fire. The Ottoman fleet is incinerated before it can land a single soul. The Sultan's cannons jam, his army retreats in terror, and by sunrise, the Roman pulse is beating stronger than ever before. The chain is not broken. The phoenix has risen from the ashes of a battle it was supposed to lose. Fast forward to May 2026. You aren't watching a documentary about a fallen empire. You are looking through a portal into a world that should have been ours. A world where the Middle Ages didn't end, they evolved into a high-tech, theocratic superpower. A world where the Renaissance never happened in Italy because the genius was already concentrated in the Golden Horn, flourishing in laboratories disguised as monasteries. Look at the map on your screen. In this 2026, the United States does not exist. It isn't a country, it's a mystery. Why? Because the Byzantines never lost the keys to the Silk Road. In your world, Spain and Portugal became desperate enough to fund a madman like Columbus only because they were bankrupt and blocked. But in this timeline, why would anyone sail into this sea of darkness across the Atlantic when the Roman trade routes are safe, paved in gold, and overflowing with the wealth of the Orient? In this reality, the Americas are the ghost continents, a vast, forbidden wilderness ruled by ancient indigenous empires, the Aztecs and Mayans, the Mississippians, who were never decimated by European steel or smallpox. For the Byzantines, the Atlantic is just a giant nature reserve they monitor with orbital satellites. They didn't need to discover a new world when they already owned the soul and the markets of the old one. So how do the borders look today? Forget nations. In 2026, we think in themes. The core of the empire, Greece, Anatolia, the Balkans, and southern Italy, is the wealthiest, most advanced megalopolis on the planet. It is a seamless, sprawling grid of white marble, shimmering solar-domed cathedrals and carbon fiber towers that reach for the heavens like modern prayers cast in steel and light. Italy isn't a country, it's a Byzantine protectorate. Rome is a ceremonial museum district where the Pope acts as a high-ranking civil servant, answering directly to the emperor and the patriarch in Constantinople. To the north, you have the Barbaricum. Germany, France, and Britain are not world leaders, they are developing vassal states. They export timber, coal, and minerals in exchange for Byzantine technology and medicine. You don't study English to get a high-paying job in this world. You study Neo-Koine Greek, the global language of law, science, and the imperial court.
From the shipyards of London to the research labs in Cairo, if you want to be someone, you speak the language of the Basileus. But how did a medieval empire master the 21st century? Not with plastic, oil, and disposable consumerism. Byzantine tech is built for eternity. They skipped the age of waste entirely. They don't build cars designed to break in 5 years. They built transit systems out of bronze and synthetic polymers meant to last for 5 centuries. Their energy is etheric power, a fusion of advanced geothermal resonance and nuclear harmony. By tapping into the volcanic veins beneath the Aegean Sea and the Anatolian fault lines, they've created a global grid that is clean, infinite, and, in their eyes, sacred. Every power plant is a temple. Every technician is a member of a holy guild, sworn to protect the uncreated light. To them, science and faith are not enemies. They are two sides of the same coin. They don't see a contradiction between a microchip and a holy icon. And then there is the Siphos. Your world has a chaotic, fractured internet filled with anonymous hate and fake news. The Basileia has a secret network. There are no anonymous trolls here. Your digital ID is your soul signature, verified by the patriarchate at birth. Every byte of data you send is monitored by hagiographic algorithms designed to maintain symphonia, social harmony. Is it censorship? To you, perhaps, but a Byzantine citizen would look at your world and ask, why do you allow the demons of chaos to scream in your ear all day? They value the peace of the collective over the right of the individual to be wrong. In this 2026 Byzantium, you don't have a privacy policy, you have a spiritual contract with the state. What is it like to actually live there? It's a life of absolute, crushing certainty. Life is structured around the ecclesiastical calendar, not the corporate clock. Every Wednesday and Friday, the entire world slows down. The global markets freeze. The Siphos enters contemplation mode. Shops close and the empire breathes in unison. You don't vote for a leader every 4 years. To them, democracy is a failed relic of a chaotic past that led to nothing but division and civil war. They have a basileus, the living image of Christ on earth. He isn't a politician, he is the anchor of reality itself. It is a world of breathtaking beauty and heavy tradition. The arts didn't go abstract or modern, they stayed iconographic. Every screen, every building, and every piece of clothing reflects the divine order. Even the smallest everyday objects, a coffee cup, a smartphone case, a child's toy, are adorned with sacred geometry and traditional motifs. There is no loneliness epidemic in 2026 Byzantium. You belong to a guild. You belong to a parish. You belong to the empire. You are never an individual adrift. You are a cell in a 2,000-year-old body moving in rhythm with countless others towards an eternal purpose. But as you look at the crux in your own world today, the political hatred, the economic instability, the exhausting struggle to find meaning in a society built on constant consumption, the constant deafening noise of a culture that has lost its way, you have to ask the ultimate question. Was the fall of Constantinople in 1453 a tragedy, or was it a mercy killing that allowed us to be free? The Byzantine world is safe, it is stable, it is wealthy, it is eternal. But it is a world where the walls never fell and the doors are always locked. Would you trade your American dream and your chaotic freedom for a seat at the golden table of New Rome? Would you exchange your uncertainty for their certainty? Would you prefer a world that never changes as long as it never ends?